Good morning, seven-figure Destiny Nation. I am so happy to speak with you again. And thank you so much for the response for yesterday's video. I just want to sow something into you guys this morning. Just want to talk for a moment about purpose. We spend a awful lot of time in our lives at work and in the pursuit of happiness. I just have a question, and it actually ties to the question that we often ask: what is my purpose? What is my purpose here? A lot of us spend a lot of our time, days when we have time alone. You think, it's got to be more to life than this, than going to work and going throughout the constructs of the day and paying bills and this responsibility and that responsibility. And there's got to be more than life. And we struggle to find fulfillment in what we have. There's got to be more than this. And either we buy into, I have family, I have my life, I have my health, I have my strength, I have a job. And we try to find a way to be okay with just that. And quite often, from a Christian standpoint, we're told that, you need to be grateful for where you are. You need to be grateful for what you have. And to try to diminish that feeling right here, that there's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be more to life than just punching in and punching out every day. And there's got to be more to that. Let me ask you this question, and take a moment to think about it. And I was posed this question maybe about 5 to 6 years ago, and it really changed my life. What would you do? What would you be doing right now if you knew that if you did it, you couldn't fail? What would you be doing? What would you be doing if you knew right now you couldn't fail? I'm talking about absolutely, positively, you with money not an object, whatever it is you decided. You had all the money that you needed. You had all the backing that you needed. You had all the expertise that you needed. You had everything that you needed to make it a success. Absolutely would not fail. What would you be doing with your life? What would you be doing this morning? What would you be doing? Where would you be living? Where would you be going? Where would you be? What would you be experiencing? What would be your focus for today if you knew that doing that thing you would not, if you tried it, you couldn't fail? Well, let me tell you, whatever that answer is, that's your purpose. That's your purpose. Because purpose is a simple equation. It's passion plus your talents and gifts. That equals your purpose. But I need you to understand something, and this is where the disconnect happens. This is where the disconnect happens. Often Christians think that their purpose has some overtly spiritual connotations. Well, I go to work every day, but my purpose is to usher, or my purpose is to work in a particular area in the four walls of the church building. No. Let me make that let me bust that myth today. That is not your purpose, because that's not what was described in the Bible. So let's push that completely to the side. That is not your purpose. That is how you serve. Understand this, that fear keeps you from that. And how you conquer that fear is that you understand Bill Gates did not have all the pieces together to start Microsoft. He didn't have all the pieces. He didn't have all. We want all of the pieces to line up, and we want everything to be in place before we actually move. That is not how it works. The Bible says he gives seed to the sower. You have to plant something to get something. You sitting back and waiting for the plant to start growing out of the ground before you exert any effort doesn't happen if you don't put some seed there. So let me ask you this question. If it's your passion, if you knew it couldn't fail, that you could pay all your bills and you could be a writer, let me ask you this question. Why not work on what you would write as opposed to watching Scandal tonight? You thought about that? At all? Why would you want to leave this planet and not do anything to leave a legacy? I vowed that I would not leave this planet and only be known as a good musician, a decent musician. There's more. That's not my purpose. That's just my worship, but it's not my purpose. Understand that if you actually go ahead and move toward your purpose, then that unties the hands of God to start putting pieces in place. He can't move until you do. You're not waiting on God. He's waiting on you. So men, I know it's hard. I know you're struggling to make the bill payment. I know you're struggling to pay the child support. I know you're struggling to just try to keep the job and try to keep above water and pay down the debt. I hope you are, and not making more debt. But understand that you have to sow that seed. You have to get off of your butt and do something in order for God to start moving. I say quite often, I've said it in the pulpit so many times, understand that God does not clock in for work until you approach the impossible. As long as it's possible and feasible, he don't have anything to do. But when it gets impossible, when you start challenging the constructs of what people think that you can accomplish, when you approach the impossible, oh no, you dreaming too big. Yeah. I just want my cell phone bill paid. But you talking about going over there and looking at $40 million houses. And you don't even know nobody that live over there. You know what? When you approach and you start moving into the realm of the impossible, that's when God gets busy on your behalf. So do yourself a favor. Put God to work. Clock him in. Take God off the vacation payroll. Do something impossible. Move toward the impossibility. The reason why that's so important, the reason why he doesn't clock in is because of one simple reason. When it's impossible, he can make it happen because he knows that there's no way you will get the credit. Move in your purpose today. Think about that. Write down your passion. Write down your passion. Write down what your talents and gifts are. What would you be doing if you know that you couldn't fail? Better question is, why aren't you already doing it? Get out there and be fearless. Be fearless. I challenge you, man. Get out there and be fearless. Be fearless. Don't wait for the world to change. You go change it. Be salt. You are the salt of the earth. Salt never takes on the flavor of what it's put into. It always changes whatever its environment's in. Go and be fearless. Take God off the vacation payroll. Clock him in this morning. Go and attack the impossible, what everyone said is way too big for you to even think about. Put him to work. Now, don't just talk about it. Let's be about it. Love you.